Service dog life and love. We just celebrated our 39th Valentine's Day.
Wow.
Hi, I am Gayle, and welcome to my Be Bodacious channel, where we're all about not letting life get in the way. And my hubby here tonight is off.
Hello.
Good to see you all. I see we have a couple of people in the house. Spider-Man the Hero, Spider-Man the Hero 1664 is in. Welcome. And we've got Colorado Spikeman in the house. Also, welcome. Good to see you both. Let me take care of some sound here. There we go.
There we go.
All right. Well, we just our 39th Valentine's Day. I cannot believe it.
Time flies. It really does.
It does. It flies more when you're having acts here that I just drop and leave like breadcrumbs. Which brings me to a funny story, actually. In our married life, I'll talk about that in just a minute, but just remember, crochet. So, love,
True love.
it's good in the air. So I wanted to talk about service dog life, love, the fact that we did just celebrate our 39th Valentine's Day, and wanted to talk about all of that because, especially with younger generations, I think that they miss out on the fact that love is kind of an ongoing process. Hey, Spider-Man, there you are.
Hello.
Good to see you. Good to see you again. And then we have, of course, Sir Fluffy nosing in over here.
Gosh. Hi.
Hey.
Excuse you.
Off.
Off, puppy. You're not allowed.
Is he going through him to try to get to me? Is that? Yes. 110-pound lap puppy. Come here.
Go to mama.
Come here.
Go to mama.
All right. There you go. Now, get your spot.
He's a good boy, but he's a big boy. And he doesn't know it.
Yeah, he doesn't.
He doesn't know it.
But that's part of what you get into with service dog life. I do not have any napkins in here. He ate them.
Of course he can. Okay.
So,
All right,
sorry about that.
We'll wash
you
that
can
later.
you can go get some. So in the vibrancy of having a service dog, he managed to spill my husband's coffee. So sorry about that.
All right.
Hubby will be right back.
After these
But
messages.
the service dog life, okay, we did not start out my married life with having a service dog. I didn't start out my married life with having a disability, but sometimes things, they just happen. And becoming disabled and then having the service dog, the second service dog, and now the third service dog it's taken some adjustments for both of us.
Yes.
But one of the things, too, I was talking about this the other day, and I've been joined tonight by hubby on the stream. So,
Yes.
hi. But one of the things that I was talking about the other night was service dogs impact not just the person who has them, but they impact the whole family. So I told the story about how you drove me crazy going to Lexington, Kentucky, which was just a few hours.
Yeah.
But didn't call me hardly at all when I was driving to Alaska. And that's because when I went to Alaska, I had a service dog and he passed away in between the time I got back and was going to go see our daughter in Kentucky. So what he did was he absolutely called me and just drove me crazy. Oh, does it? I'll have to look for it.
Oh, good. I'll check that out. Cool.
I'll have to look for it. So, and that's just one of the ways that service dogs kind of come in and they change your life. It's more than knocking over your coffee.
Yes, it is. Thankfully, yes.
So, anyway, he and I met in 1980. What?
86.
You got it right.
Yes.
And we met actually just a few weeks. We met in April, just a few weeks after Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We're celebrating our 40th first date in April.
Mm-hmm. On April 6th. No, 4th. Something like that. 5th. Yes.
Somewhere along in there.
Fifth.
Anyway, both doing really good
Mhm.
tonight. And we're celebrating that coming up. And yes, in the 40 years that we've been together, things change. And
Mhm.
I don't think you're the same person that I married. Am I the same person you married?
No, I think we've both grown and changed, and that's okay. I hope I'm not the same person you married because I've tried to grow and improve as a person. So yes,
And same with me.
yes,
What are you? Oh, he's squeaking his ball back here. So if you hear, that's
yeah,
what it is. And it's been a good 40 years. But I think one of
it
the
has.
things that people ask, in addition to how did you stay married that long, is why. And people, it's because they give up on relationships when things
Okay,
get tough.
okay.
I think,
And all relationships go through hard patches.
they do.
That's just part of it.
And they do. And I wasn't disabled when we first got married. So that is something that really took some adjustment on both of our parts.
Mhm.
I sustained a head injury, and that was several years into our marriage. And so from that, I had epilepsy. And so our whole world at that point just kind of changed, because you can't go around having seizures and also function. And then I had the foot drop develop, and that's when I needed mobility issues.
Mhm.
So we got my first service dog back in 2007, and he was phenomenal. But he was for seizure response and assistance and things like that, retrieving dropped items. He wasn't for mobility and the extra things that these service dogs do now. So he passed away, and I was in between service dogs for a couple of years and saw the need. I think we both saw the need for the
Mhm.
next one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's I think it's really tough when you go from being able to do things and then you become disabled, and that it takes a toll.
It does. It requires adjustment on both partners, and that's part of it. So we've made it work. I mean, we're I don't wish this had happened, but it did, and we're making it work. So yeah.
It just I think the core thing is acceptance. Acceptance that these things happen, and it's not anybody's fault. It just happens. And so you accept it, and you get up every day looking at, like, okay, how am I going to integrate my new reality from this point forth? That makes a huge difference, not just for your psyche, but for your spouse and your family. And then you think, well, I know with us, it was like, well, a service dog might help. Service dogs are not easy to get used to. And well, they weren't easy for me to get used to. It was my service dog. What did you think?
It took an adjustment, and it's still, I don't know if it's still an adjustment, but it's still something we have to be aware of all the time. It's not like, oh, I can take my pet everywhere, my best fuzzy friend. No, we've got to, me as the spare, the partner, not the partner with the dog, but the partner of the person. It's a working dog, so I can't interact with it like a pet when we're out in public, at least. And it's, or anytime. But it's an ongoing process of like being aware. Like if we go to a restaurant, is going to be room for the dog, or is there going to be space to park and things like that. So there's always an extra level of issues that we have to deal with. Of course, that goes along with having a disability. That's all a constant level of extra issues that to be aware of, being aware of trip hazards and doorways and things like that. So it's a bit of an adjustment. And for quite a while there, I was really self-conscious about us going in with the dog. But I just kind of gotten used to it. Most people have been great. You'll see the occasional person kind of making a face, especially if we're in a restaurant or something. But as a general rule, people have been great, and we've had really good experiences with staff and places and restaurants and places. There's always going to be a few, but by and large, I think it's staff have been great to make it easier. So
overall, I think one of the things too that we both had to get used to was the attention that a service dog brings when you go places, because when you have a service dog, you're literally advertising to the entire world that you have a disability. I mean, you can't hide it when you bring a dog into the picture. And there's this tendency of people to think, wow, you get to take your pet everywhere. And that's not exactly how it is. You get to take your fuzzy piece of medical equipment with you everywhere. But he is medical equipment. And that's an adjustment that you as a handler have to make, and he as a spouse had to make.
Yeah, that's true. And pardon me if I speak out of turn, but for the longest time, Gayle wore her leg brace under her pants. And so it was pretty much an invisible disability, because she does amazingly walking with her brace and stuff. Yeah, you really can't, from her gait, you really can't tell. But since we started going out with the service dog and whatnot, she started wearing the brace on her outside of her pants. And I think that people being able to see it have made people less judgmental, or I don't think we've had anybody say anything to our faces, but yes, okay, she's saying yes. So I haven't really noticed it. So, and maybe I wasn't there. But anyway, it's
well, wearing the leg brace on the outside of my clothes was just a lot more convenient. It's a lot easier. It works better, and it's not. When you wear it under your clothes, you're kind of trying to hide it, but that also means you're having to go find a place every few minutes and adjust it.
That's true.
So, and then once I got the service dog, they all three in their own ways have improved my life. This one, of course, being big enough to do mobility, is fabulous because I have a steady handle right there all the time. Even if he's not wearing his harness, I can put my hand on his back, and that helps. But on the same time, it also draws that much more attention that you as the handler in the family has to get used to.
That's true.
And that's tough. We had kind of, in some of the work that I had done, I did like a national TV spot and some things like that. So we got a lot of attention from that, which sort of, I think, made the attention from the service dog a little easier, because we already had some experience in setting those boundaries. And that was hugely important for the public. And when you go out with your service dog, people will say and do all sorts of things like, oh, I carry treats in my pocket just so when I see a service dog, I can give him a treat. And they're reaching in their pocket and they're saying, here you go. And I'm going, no. And you want to reach over and smack their hand, but you can't, because there's like the whole idea of assault charges and stuff like that, which is just not going to be fun. No. But that was something that he had to get used to too.
Yeah. And it's our other service dog, Pipsy, is very much a people person, or a people dog.
People dog.
So he was very responsive to others to strangers coming up to him. Like, you want your service dog to not be aggressive, for sure. But Sir Fluffy here is less of a people person, so he keeps his attention on his handler, on Gayle, a lot better. He's not as prone to looking for attention. And I think that's maybe helped a little bit when he's obviously focused on you. I think people are slightly less likely to try to interact with him, but that's just my perspective.
I think that they're less likely to interact with him because he's bigger.
Oh, that could be too.
I mean, we're
Yeah.
talking about a dog that's over 100 pounds here. When he stepped over here, you saw his head at this height. He's just big. And when we had the first service dog, he was a husky, and so he was also a little bit bigger. And I had this. It's interesting to see the three dogs because the public reacts to them in different ways, and people liked the husky. They wouldn't really talk to us that much. Sometimes, especially kids, they would come up and want to pet him, but not like they do the lab. They really want to pet Pipsy, and Pipsy would stand there and he would look at me, and the person would be like, "I really want to pet your service dog," and I'm going, "No, I'm sorry, thank you, but he's working." And I have these little cards that I give out, and that would help. But he would be sitting there, he would be staring at me like, "Please let them pet me."
It was bad. Yeah.
But even without the service dogs, though, I mean, we had to do some adjustments when I originally became disabled with a head injury because I had seizures. And you know what the states don't let you do if you have seizures? They don't let you drive. And I don't know if you all have noticed from my YouTube channel, but I tend not to stay home.
Yep.
That was really hard. And when they first pulled my driver's license, we lived hour and a half, hour 20 minutes, something like that from town.
About that, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it was really an adjustment for me, and also for you, because suddenly you had to take me to all of my doctor's appointments and stuff like that.
That was a challenge. Fortunately, we have always kind of enjoyed just being with each other.
Yeah.
Yay. Not every couple does that, and that makes me sad for them. But being together is not a problem, and fortunately, my work is flexible enough that I'm able to do that by and large. So it just took an adjustment in schedule arranging and things like that. So it's not been
schedule
terrible.
Arranging, mindset,
Okay.
dealing with the public. You know, when they were talking to him, and they're like, "Why do you have to take your wife everywhere?" "Oh, well, she can't drive." Then it's the inevitable, "Well, why not?" "Well, the state won't let her." Then there's the, "What'd she do?" You know, and it's not that you did anything, but in the area that we were in, the most common reason for people to be unable to drive is because they had a DUI. And that is not me. No. So, but that was frustrating, when people would ask that.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So we had to navigate all of that. And we had kids.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we still have kids, but now they think they're grown.
Okay, that's fair. I was gonna say we have grown daughters now.
Yes. And the cutest grandbaby you've ever not wanted to see, because I'm not going to show you all the pictures, and I really could. Don't you dare get out your phone. Don't reach for it. So they had to learn as well what to say to their friends. Mm-hmm. And we've always been blessed to have a weird life too.
That's fair.
Yeah, things happen. We had friends that came over from Ireland that we had met online, and this was really unusual in the late 90s. So we have me, who's not able to drive at the time. We have friends coming in, and then we have our daughters going to school saying, "Mom's got friends coming in from Ireland. We've never met them." And that caused enough of a stir that their teacher actually called me and said, "I just want you to know what your daughter is saying, and I don't think you're going to be happy about this." And I'm like, oh, really? And she's like, "Yes, and it's something you're probably going to want to discuss with your husband because he might need to talk to her. And in the South, when the other spouse might need to talk to her, what you're really saying is your husband might need to take her out to the woodshed." And I'm like, okay, what is it? And so she told me that she was saying that our friends were coming and whatnot, and what I just told you. And I was like, oh, could you do me a favor? Please go back and tell her that their flight has been delayed and they will not be able to come in until late tonight. So we won't get to see them until tomorrow. What? Do you mind telling her? I would really appreciate it if you could go tell her that. And I was like so glad because this woman had been so nosy about asking about disability and stuff that it felt really good to be able to say that.
Yeah,
and then when they came in, the teacher called me again. She's like, can your friends come and talk to us at school? And I'm like, I don't know. So we had those moments, and I feel like had I been like this average person and hadn't been like disabled, that maybe she would have taken our daughter a little more seriously. And maybe when she phoned me, she wouldn't have said, your husband might need to talk to her. Like on what planet is a mom not capable of disciplining her children? That's kind of what we do.
Yep.
So, but we've obviously made it so far.
So far, so good.
What? Do y'all have any questions about that? If you know, about living with service dogs or disabilities or surviving for almost 40 years?
Woo! Yay! Okay, let me hang in. Oh, okay.
So if you do, toss them into the chat. Toss them in. So we had, what are you? Oh, okay. He is now chewing on his towel. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, you all. I had a squirrel moment, or a friend of ours calls it getting squirreled because, yeah. So anyway, again, my service dog is right here behind me, and he's chewing on toys and making weird noises. So it's not all us.
Yes. If you can't hear it, be glad. It's like this weird gnaw. Stop it. Stop it.
Come here. Come here.
Go to mama.
Okay.
But,
Do you want to be up here, up lap?
Oh.
Come on. Up lap. I'll let you show everybody.
What are you trying to do?
I don't know. Oh, he's going up on your lap. He's trying to get your napkin. All right, off. Oh, now you're not going to get.
Okay.
Hello. Hi.
Oh.
There we go.
Hi there.
All right, off. There you go. Oh.
So when we take the harness off.
Dino Poodles is in the house. Hey.
Yeah. Hello.
That's Tanya.
Oh, hey, Tanya. Hey, how are you?
Yeah. Hi.
Oh, that's cool.
So when you have somebody that becomes disabled, it's a real challenge. So we had the challenge of the head injury, and there have been times when I have been able to drive, then I couldn't drive, and then it's kind of flipped.
Fortunately for all of us, she can drive now. That's good. But she does like to make a big deal about how worried I was about her traveling to Lexington and stuff, and that's true. It's really interesting from my perspective how much more comfortable I am when she's got her service dog with her. I mean, it's not the same as having another person who can help navigate or anything, but just having somebody who's some being who is focused on her and stuff, it gives me a lot of peace. Even, I mean, going to Alaska for sure, but also just running errands and whatnot. I'm really glad that she's not going to get out somewhere and fall, and so it gives me a lot of peace of mind. Well,
I'm going to have 24/7 monitoring. If something happens, that I'm going to be, notified before it happens.
Mm-hmm.
That.
Medical alert kind of thing.
Right. Yeah. The dogs are going to create a ruckus until somebody comes.
Yep.
So there's a lot of comfort there. Speaking of monitoring, I'm going to see if I can pull up a photo here. But you go ahead.
I'll go ahead. Not about service dogs, but about 39 years of Valentine's Days. Something that I, just speaking for myself, something I think is really important to always, for us always to kind of touch base, and when we're going to be going apart, like even going to work or whatnot, we always have a kiss and say we love each other and say goodbye, and then we repeat the process when we get back together. And
kisses are important.
Kisses are important, and I call it leave taking. You don't just wander off. You purposefully take your leave from your special person, and I think that's an important relationship strengthening thing. I believe in that. Yeah.
Excuse me. And so are little gifts.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when I'm saying little gifts, I'm not necessarily meaning going out and spend big bucks. But this evening he made me a cup of tea. Now, this to me is a little gift, and it just is nice. And I try to do things for him too.
She does good. Yes. She got me a little. I can't. It's a gadget. I don't know what to call it, but it's like a Swiss Army knife, but it's got a fork and a spoon, and it's like a candy Swiss Army knife. It is very cool. I'm quite the geek. I like it.
I'm so glad you did. Okay, here's what I was gonna. Finally found it. So we were talking about monitoring, and he knows that when I am out, I get 24/7 monitoring. And this is what it looks like now when I get monitored.
Yes.
I have not one service dog now telling me, hey, Mom, your sugar's dropping. Check this out. But two.
Yes.
And that's just how it is.
That fixed stare and Biggin trying to climb in her lap. Yeah, that is absolutely a sugar alert.
So, hey, I'm glad you're here. Let me go back and pick up something that I see now that she said.
Okay.
I think it's harder to become disabled because you lose something. You know what it's like that you lost. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Says, that's awesome. And then she says, I just wanted to pop in and say hello. Have a great night.
You too.
Well, you have a great night too. I can't type.
I have that problem a lot.
But little gifts like making the tea for me, and I've got a cabinet that he's going to put together for me because the last time I installed part of the cabinet upside down, he was not appreciative. So, but that's a gift too. And I think it's important to look at things like that as a gift. What?
No, nothing. Just had to take it back apart. No big deal. Anyway, moving on.
But you did. You got it back apart for me, and so there you go.
But yeah, trying to be thoughtful. And when I mentioned as we started, like I hope I'm not the same person she married. Learning to think more intentionally about the other, and not just being self-centered. That's part of growing in a relationship. It's definitely it's more of a unit than just me. So yeah, I like doing things like that. Don't always succeed. That's probably something else we should say is we don't always succeed, but learning from our mistakes, me saying I'm sorry and things like that, that's what helps the relationship continue to grow. So that's important too.
But you also have to be intentional about growth.
Yeah.
It's not something that just happens. And when you first meet and you're dating and you can do no wrong, everything is sunshine and roses. Then you become engaged and you go back to that sunshine and roses spot. And then you get married and it's like, oh my God, what did I just do?
It's a big adjustment.
And that takes some adjustment, but also, at that point, it's real. I mean, It is real. So as you go through and you process and you kind of get used to being married, it's much different because you're still the early stages of marriage. You're still you're still together and all that, and you're learning. It's almost like if somebody new moves into your office and you have to get used to that person, except they're there 24/7. You can't get rid of them, and you can fire your coworker, or you can get the boss to fire your coworker. But not only in this case do you have the one coworker, but all of the coworkers' family that you have to meet and deal with. So when you're first married, all of that is super fun, and you think you know everybody, and you think you have everyone's idiosyncrasies down, and you know where the landmines are and what to expect, and then you get married and you find out you really don't. But you're still, when you first get married, you're still sometimes thinking like a single person. You're still sometimes thinking, oh, this is my paycheck. I can do whatever I want to with my money because it's my paycheck. And that's not how it is anymore when you get married. It's our paychecks.
It's our paycheck. We got rent
it's our
and bills.
And I started to say our cable.
Early on, I would get my paycheck on Friday, and on Monday, people would be basically gone, and we'd be like, oh. She'd be like, where's our paycheck? I was like, oh, I guess we spent it. So that's been an area of growth.
It was like, no, honey, we did not spend it.
So it's an area of growth.
Yeah.
But going back to meeting family and things, it is a meeting. It's moving into a foreign territory, really. So when I met her out of state family, we'd been married. The kids were small, so that was neat. But it was very much a different culture, and having my favorite person with me made the adjustment for me a lot easier. So drawing closer to. I keep talking. Learning to lean on each other, I think, is an important part of growing as a couple.
Yes.
Yeah, learning to lean on each other, and so you're in it together, and that's an ongoing choice. We both have our own things that we like and things that we dislike. She mentioned the crocheting. That's not a thing I'm interested in. I try to encourage her and let her enjoy it. And I tumble rocks and do things like that she's not really interested in. So it's okay. We are both individual people, but together I think we're stronger. We're definitely stronger than we are alone. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, but the funny story though about the crochet is I had crocheted and just never even really thought about it. But I put it aside for a few years because life happened and we had kids. So one day we were talking, and I'd done some private duty sitting CNA work. And I'm like, oh, the woman that I'm sitting with, she makes the prettiest Afghan. And I said, all of a sudden, it's like things just came back, and now I want to go start crocheting again. And he looks at me and he says, you don't know anything about crochet.
It had been a decade or so. Come on.
So what do? I decided to go to the store immediately and get all the materials that I needed. And I sat down and I crocheted an Afghan. Yeah. Now that's very simplistic. It took me, a couple of weeks there to get it done. But then he was like, you know how to crochet? Yeah. So now I'm making these and I'm just leaving random acts of crochet kindness. But, it's just that we're always finding out things that we didn't know. And that moment was just one of those funny things. And ironically, we had a different version of that with my daughter, when my youngest daughter, well, both of our daughters were teenagers. And my youngest one had looked at a necklace. And I said, oh, that's really pretty. And I looked at the price tag and go, I was like, you could make one just as pretty, but at a fraction of the price. And she's like, make one? I'm like, yeah, make one. And she put hers around me. She puts her hand on her hips and she says, "This is when we get home." She's like, puts her hand on her hips and says, "You don't know nothing about making jewelry."
Whoops.
He just reaches over, picks up his keys, and she says, "Dad, where are you going?" And he said, "I guess we're fixing to go to the store and buy jewelry supplies."
And I was right.
That's right.
Yes. Yes.
So now if you talk to her, she's like, "I never said that." And the joy
She
of
most
having
certainly did.
him.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, you need to go put your sweater on. You were saying you were cool anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll be right back.
Okay. So it's just nice that he had my back, and you know when she said that, he was like, "Oh, I've lived this moment." So and that's part of the fun out of being together. Are you going to go with him? Okay, you can go with Dad. So they'll be back. So yeah, it's just sometimes it catches me by surprise because I'll look at the calendar and I'll go, "Oh, it's 2026. Okay, we just celebrated our 39th. We've got our 40th first date coming up, and we were engaged for 2 years, and so our actual 40th anniversary is coming up in 2028." And I'm like, "Where has the time gone?" You know, because it seems like we just got married in some ways. And in some other ways, it's been like, that's been a long time. Yay, we have Busy Lady in the house. Hey, how are you, Busy? So when we first got, I'm saying hey online. So when we first got my first service dog, you know, if you're just tuning in, you missed this. And oh, by the way, please give me a like on the live stream when you get to that point where you like it, please. But when we got my first service dog, we dealt with me having seizures, and our oldest daughter had also been diagnosed with epilepsy. So I'm like, let's start looking for a dog that we can have trained to be a service dog. We had to talk a lot about that, and we had to both be on board because a service dog is a bigger commitment for us anyway than a pet. And we talked about it, and we were like ready. We were going to go right then, and we were going to get a service dog or a dog to be a service dog. And so we looked, and we couldn't find a prospect that could pass the tests. And we looked and we looked. So it didn't happen. So we decided, okay, it is not meant to be, right? It's just not going to happen. So we had to, what are you eating?
There's no telling. Hey, Busy Lady. It's good to virtually see you.
Hey. Oh. Yeah, we have part of a washcloth now. So we had to get through that disappointment together. And then I got a call one day from a friend, and she said, "Are you still looking for a dog?" Because I had wanted a Husky and German Shepherd mix. I had talked to people, I'd done a lot of research, and different people had me convinced that they had a really good possibility of bonding tightly enough that they could pick up on the seizures. And we had just moved. And he was like, "We don't need a dog." He's like, "You've been working all the time at the ministry center. I'm working all the time at my job. The kids are both in school. Our oldest one had just gone away to schools into college." And he's like, "This is not the time." And I'm like, okay. So our daughter comes home from school, and I'm like, "Put your backpack down. Get your jacket back on. We're going to go take a ride." "Where are we going?" And he goes, "We are not going to go get a puppy." Loud. Go get in the car. "What kind of puppy are we looking at?" And he's like, "You're not getting a puppy."
We got it.
The puppy's name was Tomlin.
Yeah.
But I knew that there were two things he could not say no to. Okay? Three things: his wife, his daughter, and a good handful of fluff. Was I right?
You were right.
So yeah, but that was one of those moments too where I think forgiveness comes into play. I think honestly, I think a successful marriage, I think a lot of it is based on forgiveness.
Mm-hmm. I think so too.
Like I forgave you the day you burned the turkey the first time.
Yeah. Well,
I didn't forget, obviously.
No,
I did not.
No.
Why would I forget? So this was our first service dog. Yeah, the one he said we were not going to get. There he is.
Yep.
And in that picture, he's 13 years old. So we obviously came to terms with that. Obviously, even though you were what?
Yes. And as you may have noticed, service dogs aren't robots. Especially when you take the harness off, they're all dog. And that's okay. That's a good thing.
And sometimes they do the doggiest things ever.
For example.
Yeah, like who knew we'd be playing tug when we're doing a live stream on service dogs and
Yep.
service dogs in love. Oh, he's a mess.
He really is a good dog. And he's actually when he's in he really does a good job.
He does. And Busy Lady says good to see you too.
Yeah. Oh, good. Hi. Cool.
So yeah. But lots and lots of changes as you go through, and service dogs don't fix everything and they can cause some problems. Because once you get a service dog, you are broke. Let me just explain.
There is always something.
The fundraising that comes before you get the service dog needs to be a team effort. The whole thing about having a service dog, you got to be on board.
Yep.
And you got to have your family on board. Because the fundraising is hard. You think it's going to be easier when you get the dog, and then you find out, oops, nope, it's actually getting worse. Because now you get to pay for the dog every day for the rest of its life. And with it being a service dog, you can't slide on anything. So our pets that we had before we got Tomlin, yeah, they could have table scraps. They could have random treats. You could teach them to sit by saying sit and giving them a little tap, not push, but a tap on their back end. You can't do that to a service dog. Can't do that. So on that, the whole family has to be on board when you get a service dog because of that, and because there's this financial commitment too. The service dog has to be in good condition. So that means you're going to the vet more. It means you're not buying old Roy dog food. Or if it's a pet, they get whatever dog food is on sale, basically. And you can't do that with a service dog. And so where the rest of the family comes into play is you're spending money on a service dog, and it's real easy for kids to potentially become resentful because that money is not being spent on them. They see you putting $200 a month into a dog, and they don't understand, because they're kids, that this is medical equipment. And adults sometimes don't understand it.
That's true.
So, but the kids are like, well, you can buy the dog food that's on sale this month because I want to do this. And you're like, no, you can't. So that took an adjustment and some getting used to. And, then you have the whole thing about eating shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tomlin, when he went through puppyhood, ate several of our daughter's shoes. Usually only our youngest daughter, and usually only her left foot. Now tell me that makes sense. Like on what planet? What planet does that make sense? Do not do that. Excuse me just a second. No, come here. Get your spot.
I'm trying to be good. It's a struggle. But yeah, it really is a team effort.
Get your spot. Come on, right here.
He's getting a little rambunctious.
Yes, get your spot. Good boy. You could get your spot. All right.
I want to indulge him a little too much, so
Down.
that's something I have to be aware of. Part of being part of the team is
Yes.
supporting
Good down.
the handler's efforts in correcting and training the dog and making sure I don't screw up that training.
Yes.
It's a team effort.
Huh?
He really is a good dog.
Awesome. No. Good paw. Good boy. Paw and puppy kisses.
Oh, that's good. That's a good thing.
So, yeah. Sorry about that. So, yeah, you have those moments. So, anyway. You're a cute, but you're just a stinker.
Yeah.
All right, you all. So, do you have any other questions? Just drop them in the chat. We're going to be here a few more minutes. So that was, I think the money, excuse me, I think the money was really the thing, one of the things that our daughters had to get used to. They also had to get used to the fact that mom has the dog, she needs the dog, but at the same time, mom's telling the entire world, and I just want to be able to pet the dog, and I want all my friends to be able to pet the dog. So there was some of that too, but it works out. And our younger daughter, fortunately, is animal crazy.
Yeah.
Vet tech for X number of years, and then off to vet school for a while until she added up her student loans. So, you're here. You're interrupting the live stream again, and you don't even care to. No.
Nope.
You just want attention. You just want attention. That's okay. So, yeah. So, those are some of the things that we've been through. But overall, the overarching theme is love.
Yes.
And it takes that. It takes forgiveness. And
Takes commitment. Takes being willing to work together. Not always getting your own way. So, yeah.
It's a compromise.
Compromise. That's a good word. But it's worth it. Absolutely worth it.
Yeah. But our relationship's been a good one. And it also takes, like, if you get into trouble and you think you need counseling, go to counseling.
Yeah.
Because that can be really helpful. But just because something gets hard doesn't mean it's time to throw it away. It does take work. It does take the commitment. And also, one of the things that I think helped us was we had the two daughters. We had their pets. They each had a dog at one point. Okay. So he and I made the decision that first person to leave took the kids and the dogs. We're going to be married forever.
That was an incentive to not to stay.
So whatever it took. Are you eating
The desk?
my desk?
No, he's licking the desk. Why don't
Come.
Yeah. Go to mom.
Come here.
Never a dull
You
moment.
cannot eat my desk. No, Dad made that desk just for me.
He is
Another one of those gifts.
He's doing 2.5 or
No, he's not even 2.
oh,
Daddy's
Oh.
got it all mixed up.
he's getting it all mixed up.
22 months.
So okay, yeah. So he's still a bit of a puppy, and that's okay. So I guess he does really exceptionally well for still being a bit of a puppy.
So large breeds can be puppies longer because it's something about the development. And we really saw that with our first service dog. And I think it was even more noticeable because he was owner trained. This one at least is trained, but he still does the doggiest things sometimes, and that's just the way it
Yeah.
is. And
At the end of the day, he's a dog.
yeah, and very helpful,
Yes.
very helpful. But it's something that, you know, when you are married and then you have someone who has a disability, it's something that you just work with.
Yeah.
And he is a lot more fun than a walker, because I will promise you, you cannot send your walker to go pick up your keys.
Yeah.
No, are you looking for? What are you doing?
I'm trying to
He's
climb under the
getting
desk.
under. Oh, one of the things that he does is he goes under tables and so forth. And so we're here, and he thinks he's going under my desk, which he's really not. I don't think there's enough room for you, bud. I know. You're like, why? Yeah, why? You're a mess.
The camera hound tonight.
Yes, he is. He is. But we love you.
Yep.
We love you. Oh, you're something else. So I have 2 service dogs, and I keep saying that I'm going to rename them both. And Pipsy, his name's going to be Hot, and Sir Fluffy here, I'm going to name him Mess, because together they are a hot mess. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Pipsy's off in our room, and he's being quiet, and he's just not being you. So yeah. Anyhow, that's really pretty much it for tonight. We'll be on for a couple more minutes in case anybody has any questions. But yeah, but if you are at the stage where you're married and one of you has been diagnosed as having a condition that could be a disability, I would strongly say don't panic. What do you think?
I think that's good advice. Looking ahead to a changed future can be very daunting. I know it was for me, I imagine, for us. And it works out. It works out. So
it can. It really, do your research. Anytime you have a bad diagnosis in your family, do your research, find out everything that you can about the illness or condition, find out what your options are, and then sit down and talk about what those options are. When I found out that I had the mass on my adrenal gland, we really didn't know what that meant. But come to find out, that's why my blood sugar was through the roof. And I had to have it removed. Going into surgery, 5 medications, my blood pressure was 180 over 100 and something. And so it was not a pheochromocytoma, but we didn't know. And getting diagnosed was difficult and time consuming. And it also, we had to go out of town. We had to go out of state to the National Institutes of Health in Bethesda, Maryland, from Tennessee. And we both had to get on board. We had to get our bosses on board and, hey, this is what's happening. And yours were really supportive.
They were, yes.
Mine got on board. Mine were informed that they were going to be on board, or it really didn't matter to me. I was going to take care of my health. But it's those kinds of things, and it would have been really easy to panic over. When we found the lump in my breast, that's another time where it really could have been easy to panic. My mom had breast cancer. It did not end well. And sometimes the news just isn't good. And if you weather the smaller challenges, you can weather the bigger challenges. I kind of think of every challenge as preparing us for the next one. So,
yeah, I think that's a good way to look at it. Seeing how we've come through challenges in the past gives a little bit more encouragement. I think we'll get through this one, whatever's coming our way next.
Absolutely. So, all right, you all, do give me a like on the live stream, please, and subscribe if you have not already done so. But most of all, always be bodacious, which means you're not going to let life get in the way of living.
Yes.
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 All right. Anything else you wanted to say? I should have asked.
No, that's good.
That's good.
That's
okay.
Good.
All right. Well, thank you very much, you all. And we will see you